council meeting that I would now like to call to order. We're waiting for the sound. Okay. Is it okay now?
I think we're good.
15 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Burns, if you call the roll, please.
Councilman Bliss,
Here.
Councilman Clark,
Present.
Councilman Corbett,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hartwell, Councilwoman Scott. Here. Councilman Soltis.
Here.
And Mayor Swanson.
Here. Can we have a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Hartwell this evening?
Your Honor,
Sir,
so moved.
second?
Mr. Mayor?
So,
Second, please.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Melissa Marsh, the Deputy City Manager, is filling in this evening for Mr. Myers, and she's very qualified, and she's done it before, but it's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You're prettier than Ben.
Yeah.
I have the invocation this evening, so I'd ask you to please rise, and if you will, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Eternal Father, we come together in this hour of as grateful people, grateful for the life that you have given to each one of us, grateful for the free land which we live, and for the faith of our fathers whose vision, both our heritage and our hope. Grateful for the high aspiration of a world brotherhood, which is our challenge in work, worship, and fellowship. Grateful that we might counsel people, employ all that we are in service to our fellow man. For all these, we offer you our thanks as we share these moments as your people. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is presentations, and we have none. And approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? If not, then let's go into business licenses. We'll go both license initial and temporary and seasonable. Under initial, the first is Tenable Protective Services, a security company at 26761 John R. Number 2, Masters Restaurant, a food and drink establishment at 1775 East 13 Mile Road. And number 3 is Speedy Quick Lube, an oil change facility at 32822 John R. And temporary seasonal is Northern Lights HGS and outdoor sales at 29090 Campbell. All these applicants have met the requirements of the city, so what's the wish of council on these, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark.
I'd make a motion to approve business license initial number 1, Tenable Protective Services and Security Company. That is a new business to the city. Number 2, the Masters Restaurant, a food and drink establishment. That is a change of ownership. Number 3, Speedy Quick Lube, an oil change facility. That is also a change of ownership. Also in the temporary and seasonal, Northern Lights HGS outdoor sales.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Your Honor?
Mr. Bliss?
Support.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Business licenses, non-commercial, nothing is scheduled for this evening. Public hearings, nothing is scheduled for this evening. Is there anything on the agenda that anybody in the audience wants brought forward at this time? If not, then let's go to meeting open to the public. Anybody wishing to address council, please feel free to do so. We ask that you give us your name and address for the record, and would pull the mic at a girl. Thank you.
My name's Gloria Moore. I live at 27368 Dartmouth. I would like to invite everyone to come to the meeting of the Friends of the Madison Heights Area Senior Citizens. It's in a new venue. It's at the headquarters of the fire station at 313 13 Brush, and that's right behind the library over here. And then afterwards, we're going to have beverages and snacks over at Leo's. It'll be on us. And everybody is welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Good evening, Kenneth.
Kenneth Thweet, THWEATT, 27700 Rush.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'd like to start off and give recognition to Ed Swanson, who is, to my assessment, is one of the best mayors the city has seen. I also would like to give recognition to my military brothers, Richard Clark and Ed Swanson, who have served in Korea. Okay, I'll move on with my statement.
Thank you.
They call it the golden years. It is difficult for me to call it the golden years when I see seniors being abused by unnecessary medical tests for the profit of a few. Discrimination is a widespread of all seniors, of all races. Scare tactics are being used on seniors because most seniors are afraid to speak up because of the recourse. One example of abuse to seniors are nursing homes, which all charge $8,000 a month for food and bed, no medical. Tell me this is not price fixing. Seniors' life savings are being dissolved due to medical, which is no fault of seniors. Transportation is a tremendous problem for seniors who don't have any transportation of their own or are medically handicapped. And with the help of friends and families, which many of them don't have or can't get, it's a tough road when you can't get somewhere without some more public help on transportation. Being a Air Force vet, our federal government gives the world, foreign countries, it gives the foreign countries enormous amount of money, of tax money to foreign countries for aid in war, but no help for American seniors. Thanks to the Madison Heights Sharp, is all dedicated to keeping seniors in their home. I realize our city council is not large, but power in numbers is important. Plant one seed, you grow a plant. Plant many seeds, you grow a garden. Until the nail's in the foot, you don't feel the pain. Any politician who plan to run, speak up for seniors and the win is yours. Government entity is not making any effort to protect and help seniors, which is our most important value. Assets, I speak for all the seniors who can't or won't speak for themselves. I do thank the city council for letting me give my little talk.
Thank you, Ken, appreciate it, very timely. Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is in the record already.
And address?
I'm also going to put you guys on record.
Oh, okay, all right.
The Madison Heights 43rd District Court entrance is having paper of no camera phones allowed in court. Recently, it had 2 of these wordings, and now there's only 1, and that's before I improved it with the words unconstitutional in it. And I also heard you, Mayor, talk about Charles Chuck Geddert of Ferndale, and you are wrong about him. He does not have courage. He has 0 courage. And you, David,
Yes, sir.
are pro-bad
Pro what?
police who are faggots. That is all.
Great, all right.
Wait, can you say that again?
Which part?
About me?
Okay. You are pro-bad police who are faggots.
And now, yeah, what did you say about me?
And you lied about Ferndale 43rd District Judge Chuck Gator, also better known as Charles, or also known as Charles. He has zero courage. I know, I've met the jackass before.
Okay, all set?
For now,
He didn't give his address.
Yeah, you do. We need the address, your address.
it's in record.
No.
My name's Peter Taylor.
No, we need it here. We need it for our record.
Well, you're not gonna get it here then.
Okay, are you through?
Yep, for now.
Do you live in Madison Heights?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anybody else wish to address council?
Okay, let's move on then with item C, communications. And the first is Gospel Life Church. This is request to use Rosie's Park for a community picnic on July 15th and July 22nd.
Gospel Life Church is requesting to use Rosie's Park for a community picnic on Wednesday, July the 15th and Wednesday, July the 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Staff and I recommend that council approve the request to use the park subject to compliance with the council's policy on uniform insurance requirements for special use.
Thank you. Can we have a motion on this, please?
Your Honor?
Mr. Corbett.
Sir, I move that the council approve the request of the Gospel Life Church to use Rosie's Park for the community picnic on the 15th and 22nd of July.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss.
support.
Discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr.
and the intent of
Sherman?
the motion is subject to compliance with the uniform insurance requirements as recommended by staff.
Yes, I would include by reference.
Does
Mr.
the
Bliss?
support agree?
Yep.
Agree. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor? Aye. Let's go to item D, reports. And the first is city attorney and police chief. And this is an entertainment permit agreement for Masters Restaurant and Masters Restaurant at 1775 East 13 Mile Road.
Masters Restaurant Group has requested to transfer ownership of the Resort Class C and SDM license with entertainment permit, outdoor service area permit, Sunday sales permit, dance permit, one additional bar permit, and official food permit from the Masters Steakhouse. The city attorney's office and the police department have no objections to the proposed entertainment agreement as requested. If council concurs, the appropriate action would be to approve the agreement for a 2-year term, including but not limited to the next review that will take place on or about July the 1st of 2017.
Thank you. Motion on this, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark.
I'd make a motion to approve the agreement for a 2-year term, including but not limited to the next review that will take place on or about July 1st, 2017.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2 under reports. Department of Public Service Director, and this is a West Nile Virus Abatement Reimbursement Resolution.
Again this year, the City of Madison Heights is eligible for reimbursement from the county for projected expenses related to our fight against the West Nile virus. The DPS recently sent crews out to drop larvicide briquettes into the catch basin throughout the entire city. These briquettes, which last about 180 days, prevent mosquito larvae from maturing into adults, reducing the summer mosquito population significantly. Basins will be tested periodically to assure that the larvicide is doing its job. The DPS is also responsible for treating areas of standing water in the parks and commercial and industrial areas, including stormwater retention and detention ponds and fountains. Code enforcement staff, as they drive the city, scout out problem areas including artificial containers such as old tires, old drums, and bird baths that may hold standing water. City personnel stress to residents and business owners that these containers serve as the perfect mosquito breeding ground if water is allowed to collect and stand. Staff and I recommend that council approve the resolution to allow the city to receive reimbursement from Oakland County in the amount of $3,911 for project expenses in the fight against the West Nile virus.
Thank you very much. Can we have a motion on this, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Scott?
I make a motion for council to approve the resolution to allow the city to receive reimbursement from Oakland County in the amount of $3,911 for project expenses in the fight against West Nile virus.
Thank you, ma'am. Second?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr.
second.
Clark. Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? They only put it on once a year, don't they, because it's 6 months?
Yeah, it lasts about 180 days.
180, yeah, okay, good, thank you very much. Item E on the agenda, items for future public hearings, nothing is scheduled for this evening. Bid awards purchases, we have two. The first is purchasing coordinator, 2 police and 2 DPS replacement vehicles.
Staff and I recommend that council approve the purchase of 4 vehicles budgeted and available in the fiscal year 2016 adopted budget from the proposal V millage. These vehicles include 2 police utility vehicles from the lowest responsible bidder under the Macomb County bid, which is Signature Ford, at a total of $26,088 each for a grand total of $52,176, and 2 4-wheel drive DPS pickups from the lowest responsible bidder under the Oakland County vehicle bid, Red Holman Buick GMC, at $26,745 each for a total of $53,490.
Thank you. What's the wish of council on these, please?
Your Honor.
Mr. Corbett.
Sir, I move the council concur with the recommendation of the administration in the purchase of 2 police vehicles and 2 DPS replacement vehicles as specified in the report.
Thank you. Second?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark.
second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2, bid awards. It's the city clerk, BS&A business licensing and animal license software upgrade.
In the fall of 2011, the city upgraded the BS&A financial software to a .NET version. The city clerk's office remained on the pervasive base licensing system for animal license and business license, which they've been on since 2002 and 2004 respectively. These systems are now standalone programs and no longer integrate with the city's financial software program and are also no longer supported by the vendor BS&A. As part of the fiscal 2016 budget, $14,135 was allocated to purchase the software upgrade from BS&A. Staff and I recommend approval of the purchase to the .NET Business License and Animal License programs from BS&A for a price not to exceed $14,135 for software, installation, and training.
Thank you, Melissa. Motion on this, please.
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss.
I move that we approve the purchase of new software from BS&A to replace the existing city clerk business and animal licensing programs in an amount not to exceed $14,135.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item G, ordinances, nothing we have scheduled for this evening, so let's go to approval of the minutes of the last special city council and regular city council meetings. So we'll take those separately on the regular city council meeting minutes of June 22nd, 2015. A motion for approval, please.
Your Honor.
Mr. Corbett.
Sir, I move that the council approve as printed the special council meeting minutes of June 22nd, 2015.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark.
second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? And we'll do approval of the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 22nd, 2015, please.
Your Honor.
Mr. Corbett.
Sir, I move that the council approve the regular meeting minutes from June 22nd, 2015 as printed.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Scott. Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Item H on the agenda, unfinished business. Nothing is scheduled for that. So let's go to appointments, and under appointments, the only one I have is for the Library Advisory Board. It's Jeffrey Scott. His term expired July 1st this year. It's a 2-year term, and he's willing to serve again. And we have a motion on this, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott.
I move to reappoint Jeffrey Scott to a 2-year term on the Library Advisory Board to expire July 1st, 2017.
Thank you. Second?
Your Honor.
Mr.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there any other applicants for any appointments or boards or commissions?
Mayor?
Yes.
I think the Crime Commission wanted to appoint their 2 alternates into the vacant positions.
Okay, can we have a motion on that then?
Your Honor, what are the
Yes.
names of the individuals?
Martha Kehoe and
Come on, Rich.
Rich
Who's the
Clark.
second one?
He's not there.
Martha Kehoe?
I have it here if you want to just give me a second.
Okay.
And then once those 2 people are appointed, we want to declare the alternate seats vacant.
Vacant, okay.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I'll wait. 'Cause we're still missing the second one. Martha Kehoe and,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Richard Lewis.
Yeah,
Richard
I-
Lewis. Yeah.
okay, I would move to appoint Richard Lewis and Martha Kehoe to the vacant regular terms on
Right.
the Crime Commission for terms which will be expiring, I was hoping that it
They
might,
expire on September the 12th of 2015.
those terms, Your Honor.
Yes.
I so move.
And you're declaring the seats?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, and declare vacant the alternate seats that they're leaving.
Thank you, Mr. Corbett. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are there any other applicants or for boards or commissions? Item I on the agenda, executive session. Nothing is scheduled, so let's go into closing comments from council if we can. And as always, we'll start with you, Councilman Corbett, sir.
Just one item this evening, Your Honor, and I'm going to actually ask the acting city manager to help me out with this. If you recall, a few weeks ago, we had talked about responding to some concerns in the community about code enforcement in some areas and so on. We are actually a few weeks into that process now. And I'd asked, we received internally an update a week ago, but I was wondering, I had asked today if we could get some updated numbers on the sort of response we've had from our work. We've got our code enforcement officer, along with the new part-time, the old new part-time employee who's out working, helping us out in this process. And perhaps you might give us some idea how it's being met.
Well, I don't have specific numbers, but we did add a part-time code enforcement officer. She started last Monday on July the 6th, so she's worked a total of 3 days. But the impact is already being seen. Residents are commenting that they're proud to see her out there. So council's going to get an updated report at the end of the month.
Okay. Well, we'll defer to that time then, but yeah, okay. That's all I have today. Thank you, sir.
Councilman Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. Just a quick update. Conversations are still ongoing with the Halfman Development concept. This Thursday, there will be a Parks and Rec meeting. Anybody that's looking to hear that discussion or put in public comments could do so at that meeting. Also, we're doing a public forum at the Halfman site, tentatively planned right now for August 13th at 7 p.m. We will announce when that's official, but it should be made official at the meeting on Thursday. So just have those dates in your calendar if you're looking to come out and provide feedback on that concept.
That's it?
That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Sherman?
Nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Mrs. Marsh?
Nope, nothing this evening.
Mrs. Prince?
Yes, just want a reminder that on August 4th, we are having a special election for the Madison District Schools, a bond question. If you need an absentee ballot, please contact the city clerk's office, and we'll have more information on the times of the polls and everything for you at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Clark?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. For our monthly or bi-monthly trivia quiz, the last question we asked was, who served the longest term as mayor? And your choices were Ed Swanson, Gary McGilvery, George Suarez, or Pete Connors. And I'd like to go over each one now. Your answer is George Suarez. And the others, I would like to talk about them. Ed Swanson has the second record for the longest mayor, and he has served 15 and a half years so far. Gary McGilvery has only served 1 year, and he took over when George Suarez became, I'm sorry, was that when George Suarez passed away?
No, it's when he went to the county.
When he went to be, yes, I'm sorry, when he went to be the county. So he was taking over temporarily for George Suarez. And George did serve for 21 and a half years, so he does have the longest record. And Pete Connors, as you know, never served as mayor. That was a trick question. The only question that we have for next time is, who was the first woman mayor? And that's kind of a trick question, because there really only was one woman who served as mayor. And your choices are A, Marilyn Russell, B, Virginia Solberg, C, Elva Mills, or D, Mary Frances Stema. It is one of them. So there you go. I want to also announce that we're going to have a second annual animal shelter yard sale and bake sale and bottle drive. It will be July 24th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and July 25th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they will be at the Senior Center Pavilions, which is on John R. between 12 and 13 Mile Road. We'll be also collecting returnable bottles and cans at the sale. So all those funds will go for our animal shelter. And I know some of the council visited, and I was very impressed at the work that Suzette Geisel has done there, along with all the workers that she honored that day. Also, just to notify you, I'm sure you're going to notice it sooner or later, that MDOT will be repairing the I-75 bridge over 13 Mile Road beginning Monday, that's today, July 13th. 13 Mile will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction under I-75 during construction. There will also be lane closures, traffic shifts on I-75 during construction as well. An alternate route is advised, and construction is expected to be completed by August 31st. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. You know, with George Suarez, he's, 21 and a half years. Every time he tried to get out of office, he wanted to go on the county. They wouldn't vote for him because they wanted him to stay as mayor a
Right.
year, term after term. Yeah,
That's right.
He was a very good mayor.
Yes, he was.
Dave Soltis, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, for closing comments and in general, I think it behooves the city to look at the horizon and in terms of federal and state legislative agendas. As we can see all the time, these policies will trickle down to us as they always have. And I'd like to speak my opinion on closing comments so I can maybe attract more fan club members at our meetings. But therefore, I'm really glad to see that the law of the land now is for equality for all preferences in terms of matrimony. It is legal in the first time in this country that homosexuals have the right to be married. I think it creates it's a time about creating fairness and equality for everyone. I'm also extremely disappointed in the governor, Republican governor, that signed that which I think local authority, anti-working family, HB 4052. He finally signed it. That was at the city council over the majority vote opposed such a bill. I think it's a shame for those who are less powerful are forced into poverty because local municipalities cannot help out working families, and municipalities have their hands tied, kind of like held hostage from the majority party in Lansing. I'm also going to say that I'm glad to see North Carolina did the right thing and is taking down the Confederate flag, which to me has always stood for inequality and racial supremacy. Also, I think now is an opportune time, on a positive note, to have the City of Madison Heights cultivate a Cultural Relations Advisory Board. We talked about it before, and I researched some other cities and drafted a proposed resolution for council's consideration. Councilman Bliss did a fantastic job starting up and facilitating the ITEC, and I hope to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I just want to make a comment. Last council meeting, I did make the announcement that rumor had it that I was not running for mayor. But it didn't go out on the broadcast because there was no sound. So anyway, I'd like to reiterate that I am again running for mayor, regardless of what you hear. And I'm looking forward to serving another term. So any other comments or questions, council, anybody in the audience? No? All right, with that, then I'll adjourn the meeting and thank you for being here.